Alrighty, so let's stand up and give Kym Williams another big round of applause.
Cheers.
And guys, make sure you play, 100%.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Charles. Cheers. All right, we'll get straight into the how and the what. I just want to finish up a little bit at the end around what we talked about before lunch. So we finished with the 90-day plan, and in your handouts, one of the things that I've also put for you, just as a bit of an opportunity, that comment that was just made then, this isn't about implementing everything now. It's about eating, pardon the pun, but tackling it one bite at a time and actually working on the things that you need to work on to help you focus on what you need to focus on now and then medium term and then long term. Pages 28 and 29 are a really good place to start around what you currently are doing, and in the future we might need to focus on the following. And then page 29 breaks that down between what you're doing locally, what you need to do bigger picture, and also what you need to do around the actions you're going to take. So the information on page 28 and 29 is taken. Do you remember last time, for those that were here, I talked about that high performance study from the University of New South Wales, and I talked about how they'd studied high performing organisations. And it's an amazing study, over 7,500 people, I think around 86 different organisations. And what they worked out was that the owners or the leaders of those organisations exhibited these habits. And they did that very, very well. So it's just a really good diagnostic for you, page 28 and 29, to have a look at, work out what you need to focus on. Because what I'm going to do is share with you now just some how and what around some of the things that we do, talk to you a little bit about Easy Consult and some of the videos. I'm going to show you a little video. For example, consultants in the room, accountants or professional services. One of my big banes when I worked in accounting firms was that it used to take us half a day to write a proposal. Well, we've automated the process in 3 minutes, and I'm going to show you a video on exactly how we've done that using off-the-shelf software and integrating everything. So I'm going to share some stuff with you around that type of stuff. So do you sort of see the high-performance habits? Do any in particular resonate with you? And I'm sure it's consistent with what Stephen, the team, all your mastermind groups have focused on. Do they resonate? Yeah? Any in particular from what we talked about, particularly this morning? Yes? Learning to say no. Choosing, remember last time I talked about, and we're having a chat about this, choosing the right clients, choosing the right type of work, learning to say no because it's not what you choose to do, it's what you choose not to do. You know, it's a very important mindset if you're wanting to do the things that you love rather than what others want for you. And you might be being nice, but is that getting you closer to your goals? So yeah, just some really, I think, excellent habits around high-performing leaders and high-performing organisations. But again, the discipline to execute, just a little bit at a time, not knocking yourself up because you don't run a meeting. Well, that's okay. Just get into the habit of doing it better and making it repeatable, incorporating it into your organisation. So those is an opportunity just to reflect at the end of this session around where your actions need to focus. So high and low payoff activities. What do we mean by high and low payoff activities? So I'm going to get you to do a really little quick exercise. First thing I want you to do is, and we'll do this as a group, is what do you think you're worth an hour? And there's, you know, I don't want humility here, pardon the pun. I actually want you to think about what do you think you're worth an hour? There's a little exercise, and I want you to write that down. So please write down, this is an important point, I'll explain why. What do you think to your business, not to others, but to your business, you're worth an hour? One of the mantras we have in our business, which we talked a lot about when we introduced virtual assistants and when we've outsourced, for example, our IT and we've outsourced something else, is we looked at what we thought we were worth an hour, and everything under that hourly rate we delegated or outsourced. Why do you think that's the case? Time wastage. What else?
Money waste.
Money wastage.
Return on investment.
Return on investment, good. Opportunity cost. Anything else? So who here, for example, spends a lot of time... that story I was telling you about with that turnaround of that business, we found out the MD was signing off on every invoice that went out in a very, very large business. He was spending a lot of time signing off all the timesheets. I could name another 30 things that he was doing because he'd done them for 20 years. Now here's a guy that sells them a cores machine that sell for $250,000 a pop. And he's got an unbelievable natural talent for selling these transformer machines to all over the world. So we went into the business and we analysed what he was doing, and 75% of what he was doing was what we call low payoff activities. So straight away, we let go of all of them. We delegated to other people, we outsourced, we basically got rid of those tasks. And I said to you, that business, when we took it over, had debt of around $2.5 million. It will be debt-free by Christmas, that business. I have no doubt. So what do you think's happened? And just a little tip, something that most people never do. Do you know the 5 biggest areas that you add value to your business? Because if you don't, and you're not spending 80% of your time in those areas, you are doing a lot of low payoff activities that others can help you with. So we got, this guy's name's Mark, we got Mark to focus on, so a guy that can sell ice to the Eskimos, $250,000 machine, what do you reckon we've got him doing at the moment? Sales. I don't care if he doesn't do anything else. Sales, this guy's I don't know the ins and outs of electrical engineering around transformers. This guy does. You're watching him in front of a client, it's like watching Picasso. He's unbelievable. Comes back from China, I sold another 8 machines. Ding, there's $4 million, $2 million, whatever it might be. You get my point? This is this notion of valuing your time. And you might laugh at this, but how many of you have seen this, where the owner or the people that are running the business are spending so much time on low payoff activities? So why do we stick to our low payoff activities? What's the main reason we generally stick to that? Don't trust anyone else. Biggest inhibitor to growth. What else? Save money. We'll save a couple of dollars. Yep. Insecurity. There is some fears. Yeah, someone else can't do it as good as me, or if I let go, what else am I going to do? Yeah.
What we get value from.
Yes, very good point. What we value, what we perceive as value. Sorry, others? Yeah.
No system in place.
Yes. This is the last one that I wanted to highlight, and thank you for that. We don't have a system in place where we have confidence in the system. So we actually don't have processes or systems or structures that give us confidence that that process is going to occur without us or someone else. And that's a real challenge. And it's a huge challenge around this notion of performing at the best that you can possibly perform. And so that's why the systemising and thinking about your hourly rate. So is anyone game enough to put what they think their hourly rate is? 500, good. I like your thinking. Others? Same, good. Very good. Others? Feel free if you're lower. That's okay. I just want to hear what people are thinking. Yes, Terry?
80.
Pardon?
80.
80. So what would I be doing if I was coming into your business?
Everything.
Changing his ways.
Changing your ways. And what I do, you'll laugh at it, I'll show you some templates. I'd get a time in motion happening, just literally record everything that you do for me for a couple of weeks. And then we're going to analyse it. And then guess what? We're going to actually talk through how we're going to let some of that stuff go. Because I'm guessing for his business partner, what are his strengths? What's Terry's strengths?
Knowledge,
Yep.
customer relations.
Very good.
Process.
Yep. So where would you like him to spend more time?
Probably more in the office and more with the client.
Yep. And do you reckon that might generate a few more sales?
I do so.
I reckon it might. I reckon you'd be happy with that. This is the type of thing that you need to look at, and you won't change until you get your systems and processes in place and have the confidence in people. Otherwise, you won't let go. It just won't happen. You won't let go. So if I say you've got to know what systems you're going to use to automate and share the information, have you got the right training in place for if you use virtual assistants and outsourcing partners? Are your processes well documented? And can you readily delegate tasks without micromanaging? And they're tough questions to ask. But if you want your business to grow and you want your business to be scalable and you actually want it to be worth something for someone else when you want to sell it, that's what you're going to have to do. Not because someone else wants you to do it, but because it frees up your time and your ability to do the things that you're good at. Really important point. And so part of it is outsourcing and virtual assistants and other ways of transferring it. Other parts are delegating to people to play to their strengths. And notice his point, delegating to people to play to their strengths. So we do a lot of work. There's a tool from Gallup. It's a pretty cheap tool. It costs you $9 to fill it online. And it allows you to online get every team member to actually highlight their strengths. And you can get a more detailed report for a bit more money. So we use it a lot in our team building to make sure that we've got everyone in our team playing to our strengths. Why do you reckon we've got people playing to their strengths? And just a tip, it's connected to culture. They like it. What else? Why do we have every person in our business playing to our strengths and then we outsource and delegate outside of the business the stuff that people don't want to do?
More profit.
But what's that, sorry?
More profitable.
Yeah, well, because they're doing the things they love. They're enjoying themselves. They're productive. That's why the virtual assistants discussion, I'm not joking, I could give you my phone, ring up one of our staff and say, Kym's going to rip them out. See what they say to that. But 18 months ago, that wouldn't have been the case. Because they have learnt to let go of the things that were low payoff activities and it's freed them up unbelievably. Not to mention it's improved our customer service. To give you an example, I was running a workshop last week in Auckland. I was running a leadership retreat. And this is the beauty of when you got your systems right. We ran a workshop for 2 days, took photos of all the notes from the workshop, sent them through to our inquiries area. Our virtual assistants who work on 2 different shifts, because that's where they're located in the world, typed up the notes, had them ready for me the next morning. I reviewed them, sent them to the client. Client's comment was, that's fantastic, you must have been up all night. I said, no, well, I did say, yeah, it was a long day. I explained to them, the whole jokes aside, the process we've got in place. So what does the customer think? Do they care that I've got a system that works that way? It works. This is the same with everything you must do. Your systems and structures must work for you because ultimately they must benefit the customer. They don't really care how it works in the background, but they do care that they get the stuff that they want and the service that they need and the quality that they aspire towards. So you can start to see, and so you'll see here, you won't be able to see this, but I'll show this template shortly. Do you remember last time I talked about a role clarity matrix? So we take the pillars of the business, so finance and operations, marketing, people, culture, systems and client satisfaction, and document, including our virtual assistants, who does what in the business. Again, role clarity is really important so people can get on with the job and you encourage them to take ownership for their areas. But that also includes your outsourcing arrangements as well. So you can start to see how it's all starting to come together, and I'm going to show you some information, but your comment before about culture, I just wanted to reinforce that point. Hopefully you're starting to understand the single biggest competitive advantage an organisation can develop is its culture. It cannot be replicated, I don't believe. Systems can, I believe products can, but I don't believe your culture can be replicated. So an adaptable group of people, can do, positive, open-minded, know your industry, you get that type of culture happening with the right systems and processes. It's a very, very, very powerful organisation. Hence the reason I'm so passionate about culture. So I'm going to now go into the detail around the how and the what. So just to show you something straight away, I might see if I can grab this off the screen. I might need your help, Steve, if that's all right, this works. So if you want to come a bit closer just to show this one video. So who here develops up templates and has systems in place like forms and templates for their business? So I was saying before, like with being a consulting firm, things like proposals and workbooks for clients and that used to take up a lot of time because we had all different versions. So I'm now hopefully going to show you this video. Hopefully it works okay. If you can't see it, come up and have a look at it. This is integrated into Outlook.
This is Kym from Easy Consult, and this video is going to show you how we actually drive automation with our system implementation. So using the templates and the packages that you see on our Easy Consult website and taken to the next level with total automation within Microsoft Outlook and the other Microsoft Office products. So what I'm going to do is show you live how we do that. This is just a short demonstration. The example that I'm going to be using is a proposal, something that's common to most of you that work in professional services firms or service organisations. The challenge of doing a proposal is significant. So what I've got here is our cloud desktop, so I'm going to show you live how we do it. Now the templates that we sell within Easy Consult, you can see we have live within our business, so it's within the Outlook environment. What I'm going to show you quickly is how we bring to life the proposal clauses. So this is not just relevant for proposals. We can do this for any part of our business, whether it's administration, whether it's our virtual assistant clauses, right through to our finance clauses. So I'm going to show you live. We click on Microsoft Word. Again, within a live cloud environment, showing you the optimization of the system implementation. We click on clause, and what we'll then do is go to our menu and pick out the ones that relate to a proposal. So I'm going to use an example proposal and then we'll just talk it through. So I'll find the proposal clauses. Now what they want to know a little bit about BRS, and this proposal that I'm going to be talking through today is an example of a coaching proposal where we're helping a client with a bid. So they want to find out our bid submission. They also want to know a little bit about who's doing the work. So Kym, myself, will be doing the work along with Ron Van Buren. What we also want to do is provide our client testimonials, our coaching services, and also some information around our demonstrated experience, what work we've previously done, as well as our information around our leadership, and also some stuff around occupational health and safety. It's an infrastructure client, so it's important to them, and also stuff around our qualifiers and assumptions, and also a little bit of information around our value-add services and our values alignment. Now, the tender that they've given it to us, as all of you can appreciate, being in the service or service provider or industry, there's a hell of a lot of tenders you need to comply with. So the tenders may not be in the same example or same order as what we've got them in our clause pack. But what you'll see is that you've got the ability to change that and put it in the order you want. Now, I'll just make a couple of key changes. Now, why this is so valuable is that what this will now do is develop up a pretty much 80% complete proposal in less than 3 minutes. What you're seeing here is it's building it from scratch. All the documents are formatted. Now, we'll go back here and you can see that is a proposal. I'll just scroll through where you can have a look at that and see how well that's formatted. Not only formatted well, but that proposal's now ready to tailor for your client. Now, if we go back into Outlook, I can save that back in, but I won't do that to show you today. But you'll notice every part of our clauses, and those are the templates that you see in Easy Consult, the packages that you can buy online on our website. You'll see that we've got a heading in terms of who owns it, and we've also got information around when it expires in terms of how and when it expires. Now, this is so valuable in terms of making sure our clauses don't get out of date. So that's just a short video to show you the power of the automation process. I hope it's useful. If you want any more further information on this, go to our website at www.
So there's just one area. Does it blow you away how much you can automate? Everything that I just showed you was off the shelf, but we got off our bum, found it, systemised it, integrated it into Office, the one on number 2, if that's okay. And what we did is we automated it, systemised it and made it easy. So we've just implemented this for around 4 construction firms in the last 6 months who are like, we do so many tenders, can you just come in here and do this? So what we did, and this is the point I wanted to make. Perfect, yep. That could only happen if we had the discipline internally, and you'll laugh at this. One of my major rules, if you were to ask a staff member of mine, is the one rule we've got, if we use something more than once, I want it templated. They send it off to the VAs, it gets beautifully formatted. Every piece of work we ever do, everything internally, outstanding invoices. It's not just proposals, 100% of our business is automated. And then we've taken that and created brand new businesses online where we sell those templates with how-to videos as well as webinars and guides and links. Are you starting to see the power of it? Did you understand when you visualised, did you see what I was trying to highlight? I mean, did it make sense to you? So if I ask the question, for someone like me then, how much time do you reckon that frees up? We're talking like significant game-changing time. Rather than spending half a day or a day writing Groundhog Day the proposal, pulling out an O1, blah, 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 click, 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 80% peer review, make sure it's tailored. And that's every part of our business, the delivery work, finance, administration, the whole thing. So now you're starting to see the how and the what. Are you, yeah? And I'd argue that most businesses can do what I just talked about then. They've just got to get the systems and the structures right. So you reckon our staff love it?
Yeah.
Why? What? Amazing amount of time it saves them. The work's already done. Yeah. So you can start to see now how it works. And so that's why when I showed you the balanced scorecard, it's really important to get your measures right. So why do you think now we also have a efficiency indicator, which is an indicator of how much time staff are spending templating our work, meaning sending it off to our VAs? Why do you reckon we've got that one little indicator on our scorecard?
See how much time they're actually saving.
Yep, and it is exactly that. That's why it's called an efficiency indicator. But also, I want to see them continue. Every piece of work we do, what's the one question I ask them? Have you sent it to the VAs too? And then we then recategorise it back in, because guess what? A business we use down the track could benefit from it. So now you're starting to hopefully understand the message behind it. So you've got to convert your knowledge, and all of you would have knowledge, whether you're a construction firm, personal trainer, you might provide information, accounting firm, it doesn't matter. You've got lots of knowledge that you can reuse, and you can look at it for other passive income streams. So the key point here, this one here hasn't come up, but I just want to show this. If you go to page 24, one thing you'll notice, I'll just go to the next page, I'll just show it. You'll notice we integrated all our systems around Outlook. So everything in our business is integrated around Outlook. Why do you think that's the case? Everyone what, sorry?
Everyone's got Outlook.
Everyone's got Outlook, yep, number one. Number two, why Outlook?
Sharing that database.
Pardon?
You're sharing that database.
Yep, and also it's just you can drag and drop. So like that document management system, our templates, all integrated. We use a CRM system called Workflow Max because we use Xero. I love Xero. And so we integrate Workflow Max, which is their CRM tool, so we don't have to, we know exactly where every opportunity is. But the key point, if you look at that page on page 24, is integrate it so that nothing annoys a staff member more than having to use 10 different systems. It frustrates the hell out of them. So make it easy for them by integrating all your systems so that it's all within the one navigation. Does that make sense? Make it easy for them to do business. Make it easy for them to do business with themselves. And that's why we spent so much time integrating our CRM, our document management and our template system into the one. So you can go click, 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 and it's easy. When they need to drag folders or emails from clients, it drags from Outlook rather than them having to save it somewhere else. So you can start to see this notion of less is more. And I love this quote from Steve Jobs. I think it's excellent. That's been one of my mantras, focus and simplicity. Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple. But it's worth it in the end because once you get there, you can move mountains. That's gold. Absolute gold around less is more. So we don't use complicated systems. We use systems that integrate brilliantly well. Is it starting to make sense? Now you're starting to get the how and the what. And even to the point I've just shown you that proposal demonstration, I mean, it's a real game changer when you can free up your staff's time because they can focus on those higher payoff activities. So if I just ask a couple of questions, what would you like your staff to be doing more of? Just to hear from a couple of people. What would you like your staff to do more of?
Making money.
Making money, but let's be a bit more specific. I agree with you on that, but what else? Yeah.
Customer service.
Customer service, good. What else? Yeah, performing treatment, so with clients. Yep, good. Selling, good.
What they're good at.
Yeah, what they're good at. So to give you a perspective, where our staff's own worst enemy? Because what do we tend to get them to do? They're doing so much paperwork and what I call butt covering rather than actually stuff that adds value. And our biggest mistake is we give them so many systems we want them to update, but they don't all talk to each other and they don't integrate. So it's actually your responsibility to try and streamline and consolidate and integrate. So they've got the opportunity to spend time on the things you want them to do. Does that make sense? Like for those that saw that proposal, who does proposals to their clients or briefing offerings to their client? So just as an approximate, how much time would that save your staff? So then guess what you want your staff to then do? Replace that time they were using with other activities. So the point I'm trying to make, you can make it easier for your staff. And so I'm going to give you a bit more detail on this now. I'm going to use virtual assistants as an example, but we've got all this stuff in Easy Consult, which I'll show you the members area on how it works. We've got over 300 templates that you can use, like the stuff that you just saw, or videos for each one of them, webinars, links, how to recruit a VA, everything's in there. But it's all about making your life easier. So virtual assistants, who here uses virtual assistants? Yep, good. So for those that do use virtual assistants, what's your thoughts on it? We've been using them for about 2 years. I'd love people's thoughts.
Fantastic.
Yep, why? Can I ask?
Oh, save time.
Yep,
It saves so much time.
very good, because you've let stuff go. Others? I'd love people's thoughts.
From our perspective, it was a great work ethic.
Very good work ethic, yep.
They seem to be able to do more because they don't have the normal office interactions.
Yep,
such as
very good.
ringing
Yep.
other staff, talking to them.
Yep,
Yeah, but excellent.
very good. Others?
They're in a different time
Yes, very good point. And how can you play that to your advantage? Yep. And also, let's be blunt, they're affordable, very cheap. But the other thing is, if I can be honest in this is bloody hard to nail initially. It took us a long time to get this right, so I'm being open about that. We've got, as I said, 6 virtual assistants now. We had to do training videos. We had to document our processes. Because for those that work with virtual assistants, hopefully would agree with this, they think what I call sequentially, like step by step by step. Would people agree with that? That utilise virtual assistants? So you need to be able to be disciplined enough to document and template and get your processes systemised. So if you think about it with the virtual assistants, and I'm going to show you examples in a minute, we had to put a lot of work into being clear on what we got our virtual assistants to do. Because it's not like going, please do this work and make it perfect for us. We had to get our styling guides right. We had to get our systems right. We had to make sure we knew what to document and provide to them. But anyone here, I would guarantee you it would free up a lot of time to have someone managing and providing services through your virtual assistants. But the comment that I'd make is you may not find the right VA for your business first time round. English usually isn't their first language. They do prefer, in my opinion, direct instruction rather than problem solving and creative tasks. You've got to provide deadlines for the task. I'm giving you some tips. You keep your instructions short and relevant, and you provide examples of what you want and don't want. So everyone in our business, for example, has a Snagit video tool. It's a really cheap tool. I'll show it in a minute. Brilliant tool. So when I'm giving instruction on a document I want formatted or reviewed, I'll record a little video. I'll send them the video with the document, and then they can go through step by step and update that document. Does that make sense? Snagit is so cheap, it's ridiculous. But you literally click on, it's easy, I can use it. I click on play, I highlight the screen I want recorded, and then I talk through the document. Send them the video link. And then they do it that night, and it's ready the next morning.
Virtual assistants are specialists too.
Yes, they are.
I haven't used one myself, but I've used them for another company, and you've got to match up. So
Spot on.
They can't do everything.
No, they can't. No.
You go through a process of like interviewing each other about where you fit.
Yep. So with the virtual assistant, this is an excellent point. The reason we have 6, we've got 2, Lendl and Serena, who are excellent at formatting, and they are people, they're great people, got their own families, usually work from home, our guys do. We've got 2 that are really good at SEO and social media. We've got another one who's brilliant at transcribing. She does an excellent job at transcribing. So we're very clear on their strengths. I haven't met a virtual assistant yet that does everything. It doesn't work that way, in my opinion. So you've got to be clear. This is why I'm going to take you through in a minute the steps you need to do if you're going to go down this path. And when I'm talking about virtual assistants, I haven't even touched the outsourcing arrangements around your IT and stuff that you can do as well. So you've got to build the trust and relationship with your VA like that you would any other team member. So we use heavily Skype. They're part of our cloud desktop. They're heavily involved. And this is an example. This is a template you won't be able to see, but I'll take you through it. And any of these templates that you see that you want, just yell out and I'll give them to you. I'll send them through, Stephen, back to you, and you can have copies of them. But this one here is something we got our team to do, where we identified all our tasks, what areas of the business, how often we do them, have we systemised or documented that? If we haven't, we need to. And then this was used to document and let go of all the activities we thought our virtual assistants and outsourcing arrangements like Odesk, Fibre, Freelancer, 99 Designs, all those different ones could do. So step by step, this document in Easy Consult, in Easy Consult online, we're able to do this. So that's step number 1. Document where you're at with your low payoff activities. Step number 2 was we then put together a list through a brainstorming session of 100 tasks we think we could outsource to our virtual assistants. So I'm not saying you've got 100 you do, but this is a great little list about what are we doing now, what are we going to do, what's not relevant. And you'll see there's a few things here like data entry, preparing PowerPoint presentations, PDF conversion, transcription of audio and video files. So they do transcription of all our files. So can you start to see how we started to let go of more and more activities?
Which one of you guys think that'd be valuable if Kym shared that with us?
I'll share all this. I'll show you the Easy Consult area.
Yeah. So much love to Kym. That's very, very generous, guys.
Yeah.
Super generous.
Any of this stuff, I'll show you in a minute, the whole members area. But all this stuff, do you now know why I'm really pleased our team documented and templated everything over the last 5 years? Because we're now reselling them when we never thought that would be the case. I always thought, people must all do this. And then I started to realise, hang on a minute, there's an idea for Easy Consult, there's Easy Government. And so now that generates 35% income. And I say to the team, I'm really proud that you had the discipline to template, because guess what? What you wouldn't have known is that's now created another income stream for us. I'm really proud of that, you know. The discipline of them doing that is magnificent. Our next one, Easy Project, is for high-performing projects and delivering projects, has all come from stuff they've templated. They deserve the credit for that. Does this make sense? So this stuff is just amazing what you can let go. But I do want to stress you have to train and teach and coach. Train and teach and coach. And people knowing that, guess what, we want you to do the higher payoff activities. We're not wanting to let you go. And that's been our intent, and that's exactly what we've done. So you can sort of see the tasks. There's so many tasks you can outsource. And this comment about benefits of training through video, there's a few here that we use. Jing, Snagit, Camtasia. And I'll get into the Easy Consult area. I want to show you some stuff so you can ask whatever questions you like. But this one's excellent for small 5-minute videos. Camtasia is good for your longer videos, and Snagit's really good if you want to edit the content post the video. So these are just little videos. Like this Jing, I think, is less than $5 a month. And I have to show you on the computer, but you literally click on it, record your screen, and you send that with your VA so they know what you're looking for. So for accountants, it's excellent. Like, it's a really good tool. Pardon? It could be free. No, we've got the one that you can edit, so it costs us a little bit more. The free one, I think you can't edit it in another format. Does that make sense? So the reason we want to edit some of ours is if we cut things out of it. But I think you're right. There is a free copy as well. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, they're closing it down.
Are they?
Well, they're going to snag it.
No, okay, so yeah, there is a free copy that only comes in a particular
Format.
which
Yep.
is SWV or something.
No, that's what we know as well. That's why we're paying the $5 a month, whatever it is.
You pay the extra one and then you get it in the MOV or...
Yep, that's right. That's what my understanding was as well.
They're
Yep.
closing Jing down and they're pushing everybody across the campaign.
Yep.
MP4,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. The system I showed you before around the click, 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 that's all off the shelf. The company name is called MacroView in Sydney. It's a plug-in to Outlook, ClauseBank and MacroView. Their products are excellent. And if you want the demo video, which shows the whole feature of it, let me know. But it's like, without joking, it's a business. This guy, Kym Williams, has built this brilliant software no one really knows about. And he's from Sydney. But it's literally, I think, around $100 a person to subscribe to per year, which to me, $100 is nothing for that tool I just showed you. The only fallback, and just to give you a tip, is that it comes with none of the templates. So that's the challenge. And that's why I'm going to show you some of the templates that we've developed, hundreds of them, that you might find useful. So before we do, I want to hear from a few tables, because there's no point having these sessions if you're not going to think about some of the things that you're going to outsource or provide to a virtual assistant. Can I hear from a couple of people? I'd love to hear from a few people.
Yeah, making PowerPoints.
Yeah, great. So all our PowerPoints are all formatted by our virtual assistants. We peer review them. Yep.
Social media?
Social media, excellent. We're the same. Blogs, everything, all automated. Yep.
Facilities, banners.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you a story. We got a quote for some brochures for Easy Consult. It was going to cost us $1,200 locally. We got them done on Odesk. Guess how much it cost us? $45. And the quality I can show you is very, very good. So we use it for all our outsourcing, brochures, video transcriptions, everything is all done through outsourced. Others, guys, I want to hear some of these ideas because you'll be able to learn from others.
Formatting our monthly newsletter.
Great. Very good example. And even to the point, you can get them to actually schedule the newsletter for you as well when you get to that point. But that's a really good one. Others? What other ones? Social media, definitely.
Copywriting.
Yep.
editing.
Copywriting, they're perfect. And the other thing they're really good at is finding visuals, like pictures and stuff like that for blogs and stuff like that. They're excellent at that. All our blogs and videos we get transcribed on our website, which I'll show you in a minute. They're all done by our virtual assistants. Yep, others?
Transcribing paper financials into our reporting system.
Perfect. That's a really good one. Yep, good.
Data entry.
Pardon?
Data entry.
Yeah, very much data entry. They're very good at that. So I'll give you an example. All our business cards and all our, not just business cards, but pretty much all data entry, we give them read-only access, meaning they can't access the entire database for confidentiality reasons, to input them all in. We scan them, send them, they input them all in. We put them in a little, you'll laugh, put a little glass jar in the office, and they're all scanned, sent to our VAs. Yep, others? Yep, SEO optimisation, they're excellent at that. But that comment that was made before, you need to find the right virtual assistant that's really good at SEO optimisation. That's not a general skill that they have. That's a good pick up. Yep, others?
So obviously it's just rather be looking for? Because some things I'm sure you can learn over time.
Yes.
So what are the things that are really a skill that's necessary, that's not easy to learn, that we should be looking for?
Yeah, I probably would phrase it differently. I would revisit it different to that. I would look at it and go, what are the low payoff activities that I'm doing? And then delegate them. I wouldn't look at it as a unique skill set. I'd look at it, what low payoff activities am I doing that I could let go? And I'd probably dispel your myth about the cost. The cost, without giving too much away, is ridiculously cheap. You could have, no disrespect, you could have 20, I think. They're very, very, very cheap, yeah. But the key is to find the right ones. But we have extensive training videos and everything, which I'll show you, templates and everything that we train our virtual assistants on. Others? This is really valuable for others to hear, yeah.
Email response.
Yes, very good. So I have someone that manages my inbox. So Lendl, her name is, and she does a great job of screening, but I had to write some rules explaining how I wanted that to be done. And it got me really thinking about how I wanted to be response. Great. Yeah.
Just on that, how does that differ from what rules are available in Outlook to set up and manage that yourself?
Yeah, the rules, I agree, the rules are actually quite good, to be fair. But if you can train someone who knows your business and who can already be proactive in, let's say, organising meetings and stuff like that, it's taking it to another level. So Lendl, for example, who's my virtual assistant, we have one for each team member, you know, buddy them up. She knows intuitively where my calendar, my travel, she organises all my travel, everything. Yeah. So my argument would be, yes, that's a good base, but that's only just the start. Yeah. Yes.
When that person is replying to emails and things on your behalf,
Yes. No, yeah, they don't reply so much on my behalf. They'll organise things like travel and the like. I actually don't get them to respond on my behalf.
because those, if they were doing customer service, for example, and just replying to general email
Yes.
appointments of my business,
Yes.
would they be replying as their own person?
As their own.
As
We
their
do
own,
that, yep.
say Mary Jane, whatever.
Yep.
What would she say virtual assistant, or would she?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't say virtual. She says administration officer, or Lendl does. She's got our logo and everything. It doesn't matter where it's located, but I'll CC her in, or she'll automatically be CC'd. She'll then arrange the meeting. She's very, very good at organising appointments.
Okay, so they
Yep.
see you as a staff member.
Yes.
And they.
In my opinion, that's the best way to work. That's why I had that slide up before. They're part of the team. I think they're part of the team, and you've got to embrace that, train them up, get them engaged. Yeah.
What about, like, I'm in a situation where I'm tossing up between a VA and a trainee,
Yes.
investing in someone that's actually going to be there and progress into
Yep.
a broking role, as opposed to getting a VA who's going to do all the tasks. I suppose if you assign those tasks to a VA, you're never going to have that entry-level work for someone to come in. Or would you just not worry about the trainees and you'd be putting on a VA on the basis that you then don't need a trainer?
Well, it's a really, really good question. So I actually have a lot of trainees. Most of the people that join us are through internships. So I'm a very big fan of people. I like to get people, being open with you, that don't have conditioning from previous jobs, so they're very open-minded. I recruit a lot of people that way. So I actually think, to answer your question, there's a role for both. I don't believe your trainees should be doing those same low payoff activities that you are doing. And no disrespect to you, you're paying $2 an hour versus $25. So, you know, there's a difference in cost. So that's number one. Number two is if you bring them into the business, utilising the VAs and then doing some of those, letting go, you can delegate work to them. That's why I said delegation and VAs and outsourcing, not one or other. Yeah, and you can actually get the best of both worlds. You still want someone here. We still have a great team here. We haven't changed that. But the work we can now do and the level of impact we can now have with our clients is phenomenal. And our clients have noticed it. They don't know why, because we don't sit there and go, oh, we've got VA. You know, that's not what we do. But the service is better. We can spend more one-on-one time with them. The difference is phenomenal. Does that make sense? Yep.
How do you identify the appropriate VA?
Yeah, well, I'll show you. I've got some stuff I'll show you in a minute. And if there's any of these templates that you like, again, just ask me. I'm going to show you. So this might be a good segue. Do you want me to show you some stuff in terms of some of the templates and tools and that we've got? So you can at least see them. And then, yeah, if you want them for nothing, just tell me the ones you want. Obviously not all of them, but if you want some of them, let me know. And I'll give you, through Stephen, a heap of them, okay? So I'm going to show you, if you don't mind, I'm going to sit down here and show you some stuff live. So, yeah, is that okay? Yep. Yep, so anything that you want, just ask, and then I'll write a little list. So just one thing. What I did is, I mentioned before that I probably didn't appreciate that other businesses didn't work this way, and that was maybe a little bit of my ignorance, but also the fact that I saw an opportunity, hence the reason Easy Consult is launched. So if you go in here, what we've done And this is where I was going to say, being open with Stephen, I was saying if there's an opportunity to collaborate between your members and some of our members, I think there's a good opportunity to do it. So we don't so much focus on the conferences, we focus on, if you want these tools and templates and the how-to videos on how to implement them and webinars and videos, this is for you. So if you go to here, you go to virtual assistance and outsourcing. And under each topic, this is for professional services firm, but we're just about to launch Easy Business as well, where it will be for normal businesses, the same type of content. We've collected all the articles and links that you could possibly see about virtual assistants. So in there, you've got blogs, books, websites. Does that make sense? On top of that, what we've done is said, right, not only that, we'll give you all the tools and templates. And this is the problem, most people don't know where to start. So there's a contractor agreement for when you hire a virtual assistant. There's your documentation of tasks and activities. There's an induction plan for a VA, job description for a VA, monthly task logs, tasks you can outsource. So here you've got the editable, and these are all editable templates, and then there's a video for most of them where it takes you through how to implement it. Is this starting to make sense? So we haven't just done it for VAs, we've done it for every aspect, writing better proposals, project managing, finance and systems, like proposals, there's hundreds of templates in there. Commercial acumen, one of my biggest pet hates in our business was people didn't understand how to write a good proposal commercially so that they don't put us in difficult spot. So we've written a whole module on that. But it's the same model, you know, so if you click on here, so you can see here what we've done is we have templated, and it's all editable for you. These are the things, if I was bringing on a new VA, the items, the person responsible, relevant documents. So you know exactly how to bring your virtual assistant in. There's hundreds of these templates. So you can imagine, for 5 years, we've sat there and templated everything. You know, pardon the pun, we fart and we've templated it, you know, everything. Invoices, everything. And all we've done is put it in a different model. And this is what I meant by the how and the what. You can't do the how and what until you do the why. So we did the why this morning. Now you're seeing the how and the what. Does this make sense? This transforms businesses, because once you've got all this stuff in place, like we've just done a big construction company in Adelaide. They turn over about $160 million a year. They saw this like, come in and do it for us. So we gave them all the templates, worked in, integrated their systems. They're now using this. The time it's saving that business is phenomenal. They're ripping through the proposals, everything. But hopefully you can start to see how this works. And if you go back to... So you can see, not only that, you'll laugh at this. For these people that have practice management areas, so nothing annoys you more. I worked in accounting firms where nothing was documented. And it's the same in most businesses, construction, even professional service firms. So we've gone, for example, and said, right, here's every template and every form for managing your practice. There's a contractor terms, petty cash voucher, kilometre reimbursement form, company credit card, new starter checklist, terms of business, letter subcontractor, advisory board if you've got an advisory board, secondment conditions, working from home. We have documented everything for you. So it's all editable. And you go in here under policies. But this isn't our business. This is a business we've spun off. Is it general conditions of employment, OHS, environment, harassment? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So you're probably looking at me thinking, this guy's a bloody freak. But does it make sense, though, why we did it? Well, my wife would say they broke the mould, I think. She's a different view. No, only joking. Yeah. So I'm trying to get you to think, like, to put this into perspective, we would never have been able to create Easy Consult and Easy Government without having the discipline that we did to do this. And here are these great spin-off companies. Like this whole members area was built by someone on ODS for us, you know, and we've now replicated that for Easy Government, and it's going gangbusters. Easy Project, I think, will be bigger. But the point I'm trying to make is discipline sometimes is perceived as a bad word. It's not a bad word. It's a really good thing in your business because you spin off things that you would never have anticipated. It frees up time, it frees up energy, but more importantly, it gives clarity to your staff. And our staff love the fact we're generating returns. They wake up in the morning, someone else has bought another package of Easy Consult, you know, it's $1,800 for the year, it's not expensive, but they get hundreds of tools and templates and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get you to think in a different way. But if I say to you now, and this is the question I'm going to ask you, how much time would it free up to have this type of stuff in your business? And that's what you need to do, free up more time to have more money, more freedom and profile. And the one that I like to have as a fifth one is meaning. Do the things that matter to me, be in the community, help other people out. Meaning's a big one for me. So is there anything else you want me to show you in here? Because there's lots of stuff in there. I don't want to overwhelm, but I'm trying to show you because I think it's a nice addition to what Stephen does.
Just with those
Yeah.
documents, we've seen a couple of documents there.
Yeah.
What videos do you put with those? Is that on Genie or something?
Yeah, so they're how-to videos from Jing where we go through the document and explain how to implement it in your business. Yep. So every one of those documents has a video. That's a major point of difference. But not only that, what we also do is we do webinars, just to show you here. So if you go to virtual assistants, you asked about how do you start with a virtual assistant. Someone asked that question? Yep. So if you go to the webinar, so this is my wife here, you'll see shortly. She's done some video, she's done some, I'll go back here actually, if you go back here. She's done some videos initially, 3-minute videos, and by the way, you get emails every week with this, but she's done some videos on like how to effectively integrate, identifying tasks you can outsource to a virtual assistant. So this is Nicole. I work with my wife, and she's very good at the back end. She used to manage a lot of virtual assistants in global clinical research trials. So identifying tasks you can outsource, tips and techniques for outsourcing and offshoring effectively, getting your team on board, investing in your virtual assistants through training. But then on top of that, there's detailed, and the great thing is you just grab this off your computer or your iPad. But there's also webinars for 30 minutes, which says hiring a virtual assistant can be a daunting experience. Here's how you actually do it step by step how you do it. Yeah. Starting to make sense, guys. So can I ask a blunt question? Did you think what I was talking about was crap before, and now that you've seen the state, you start to understand there's a bit of merit behind it? I don't mean that nastily. I'm just asking. You can be as blunt as you like. I'm blunt, so I don't mind. Yep, makes sense. You require a special team to do this, though. This is the point I've made this morning. You require a team that's adaptable to change, open to change, willing to grow and improve. And that's why I can't stress enough the importance of getting your team connected to the why. And when they're doing work that they never thought they could ever do, the difference in them is phenomenal. It really is. I can't stress this enough. So you've got to get people connected on the why. You then start to think about how, which is what are the things I'm going to focus on, the how. And then now you can start to think about the what. Okay, I now know step by step what I need to do. Because just a tip, we've made shirtload of mistakes getting to this point. We got things wrong, now we got it right. It's a breeze, but it wasn't at all. Yeah. Yeah.
How difficult initially was the document control side of it?
Yeah.
Being able to search the document. I mean,
Yep.
I put a lot of time into this going back a few years.
Yes.
And I drowned in it. And
Yes.
there was just documents and I'm the only one that can find it. So
Yeah.
it was almost pointless.
Again, it's the systems and the structures in our team. And you can see here, this is obviously, we've got lots of members in Easy Consult. They just grab whatever they like. So now it's easy, but it wasn't before, no. But it's because our systems are so different. Like, just to explain, we don't give our virtual assistants access to everything. They only have access to certain areas. You've got to be careful with things like confidentiality and making sure you manage the process for them to do certain things. Yeah. Any other questions anyone wants to ask? Because this is the opportunity before we look to finish up. I thought I'd leave some time for the end because this is your chance. And I'm going to be around, of course, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you've got. This is the opportunity to do so. I'll show you stuff or whatever it might be.
On that document control side, what
Yeah.
is commercially available? What do you recommend?
Yeah, so I've written it in here, and I'll give you this information. What we've done, we've been very generous under support where we've said, where is it? Tools we use. So what I've done is we've given a little tip in here on every tool that we use and why we use it. So that document management system we use is a tool called MacroView, macroview.com.au. It just plugs into Outlook magnificently. The templating one with that module that goes into Word, you know, those click, 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 click with the proposal is called Clause Bank. Again, off the shelf, you can just buy it. But what we've done is given you a whole list of the tools we use to automate, systemize and structure. They're all in there, you know, they're all in there. Yep. And if you want, just a tip, you can get a free trial for a month and you can access whatever you like, with the exception they're read-only for some of the documents past the first one. It's free, just go in there and try it. And if it's of value, but if I can stress one point to highlight with Stephen as well, this is great around system and structure, but it still doesn't replace what you guys are doing around these types of sessions. But if you want to systemize and automate, this is for you. This works. Yeah. But trial it. You don't have to put your credit card in, just trial it, see what you think. If you like it, great. If you don't, no problem at all. But any of the documents you've seen, as Stephen pointed out, I know Andrew was the same, I'll give them to you. You just say, I want these documents, write me a list, and I'll send them to you. Yeah. Yeah, very good. So any other questions, guys, before I look to wrap up?
You mentioned
Yeah.
members.
Yes.
So you have a membership site and...
That is the membership site I've been showing you.
Membership site.
Yeah.
So what do you do to become a member and...
Oh, you go online and just pay. That's how it works. But what I suggest, don't go and pay. Go on trial first. Just try it. And you try it for, I think it's 14 days. Again, we've built these businesses, they're all completely automated in the back end. We use Entreport, it's completely automated. I just wake up in the morning and 3 members have signed up. Or we offer organisation membership, so all your big engineering firms have signed up. Fife, Parsons Brinkerhoff, URS, they've all become members. It's because they love this as a tool for their staff. Some of the construction companies as well. Huh?
What about Smith & Sons?
Yeah, well, we're happy to talk to you about that. But all jokes aside, that's the whole point they've given it to them, is because they don't want their staff reinventing the wheel. Because this costs you heaps to go and find this stuff. We've just found it and just documented it. Yeah. Any other questions anyone wants to ask? Because I love the fact you're asking questions. You know, that's why I'm here. I'll help as much as I can.
I guess going one step further with the what and the how and the why.
Yep.
Maybe there's another circle on the outside. I think everyone's just sitting here just going, wow. And I mean, it's great. I thought I had templates in place, but where do you start? Like you see your business, and what do you say? Sit down, look at this part of your business and this part of your business. Where do you start?
So what I'd do, if I was leaving today, this is what I'd do. I would go to literally to the ones around your change plan and your high performance habits. So page 27, 28 and 29, and do those simple diagnostics, all jokes aside, and work out where your gaps are. I mean, literally today, we started our businesses 5 years ago. That's 1,500 and whatever days. You know, that's a lot of days, but 1% every day we've got better and better. But what you've got to do is start, and the second tip I'll give you, so look at those documents. Number 2, do a list of your high payoff activities and your low payoff activities. Start with your low payoff activities. Get some momentum happening and then the rest just follows. And I have no doubt any business, one person or 5 or 10 or 15, has low payoff activities. So start with the high and the low. But just eat it one bite at a time. I mean, there's no way I would have envisaged that our business would run like it does now 5 years ago. I can say that genuinely. There's no way I would have thought that. But I knew there was a better way, and one thing we've got many weaknesses, but our real strength is we're willing to take some risks to just continue to innovate. And now the proof's in the pudding. Yeah. So just start slow. You know, just do a few quick wins. Yep. Yep. Any other questions? I think we've got 5 minutes, have we, left? Yep. Yeah, great.
This
So-
might be a strange one, but how do
Yeah.
you reward your staff? I know
Yeah.
Google have a way of doing things, and Microsoft reward their staff in certain ways.
Well, let me go to a template maybe. I'll literally go to a template and I'll show you. So if you go here under forms, I'll show you, you'll laugh, but I've got a KRA incentive program example for how you reward your staff. I'll show you. And if you want a copy of it, you can have it, but I'll show you. If you go down here, there's one here called employee departure checklist, one-on-one coaching session. You want to have a KRA, KPI, individual performance. So I can tell you how I do it. I won't bring up the template. We've got one there. But I actually reward 100% on behaviours. So why?
You want to encourage that sort of behaviour.
Yeah. We've gone through and identified the 1%ers in our business, the things that make us successful, and we reward entirely on that. Once we get above a certain profit, for those that were here, Troy, we were talking about before, Victor or Vegas, so we took the team to Fiji a couple of months ago, and we're going to Vegas. We've got to lock that in for a bit later because there's a course over there. It's 100% around behaviours. Once we hit above a certain profit, we also share a portion of that with them. But I'm a very big fan, as you would have guessed by now, around behaviours, the 1%ers, because they have developed what we've developed up because of their behaviours. They're disciplined to template, they're disciplined to use our VAs, they're disciplined to actually collaborate and share information. So yeah, I'm a very big behaviours man.
So that doesn't promote competition between
Not at all. No. No, because they're in it together. If we don't hit the hurdle of the certain amount of profit, then it doesn't matter. No one gets anything. So Pardon? Well, we don't. I'm actually a big believer of keeping a business small. We made many mistakes in the first couple of years of having too many staff, and we didn't have the time. So we've actually kept our business in constraints. But I will let you know if we do. We've got a great team, and we've kept that continuity of the team for a long time now. And that's why, one of the most flattering comments someone made before about my certainty. If you'd met me 5 years ago, I probably didn't have that certainty, but I now know what works. And you can now know why we can go into businesses and turn them around and sell them for a lot more. Can you see now why? Because when someone, private equity company goes in and looks at it and thinks, shite, they're not relying on this one person anymore. They've got their systems, it's all automated, and all the top people are out there playing to their strengths. That's why they pay the 8 times or 10 times. So we just put some skin in the game and we back it. We're very confident now. Without being arrogant, please understand that, but we are very confident, yeah. Yeah.
So do you have that sort of profit incentive up in that KPI individual performance?
Yep, so what we've got is the calculations at the back of that template, which explain that once we hit past a certain gate, how it actually calculates, yeah. But what we do is we put half to that profit gate, sharing the dollars there, half of it is the individual behaviours. So it's sort of split. But like I said, I'll send you that particular template if you're interested in that one. Yep, we've done a lot of trial and error on what works and what doesn't. For our business, this works particularly well. Yep.
All righty, any more questions? For Kym? When are you coming back?
I mean, to give credit to Stephen and the team, I mean, I don't do much speaking now because I'm focused on particularly these private equity, but I really, I've got a lot of respect for Stephen and the team, and, I think what you're doing is great. And also I've got a late uncle that lived here, so I've got a passion. And my auntie lives here, so I think what you're doing is great. So anything I can do to help, I will help. Yep.
Beautiful, we appreciate that. Round of applause for Kym Williams, guys.